thank you. Oh, that's nice. I got a check. Is it Mama's turn now?
Well, your turn, Miss Glendora.
My turn. Glendora is thinking of a number from 1 to 10.
Okay. Is it 4?
No,
Is it 3?
no.
Benny?
It's 1.
No! Did I win?
Benny.
9?
No, dear, it was 6. I got 2 check marks.
I got 1 check mark. My turn.
ahead.
I'm thinking of a number from sexy to good. What? From 10 to 1 to 10.
Is it 2?
Oh no.
3.
Oh no. Actually, yes.
3 for Miss Glendora. It was 3, Miss Glendora.
Hey, babe, you stop whining back there.
So you got 3, Miss Glendora.
I got 3 check marks?
Yeah.
Is anybody going to give me a gift? Because I'm going to win?
I am. Okay.
I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10.
Is it 3?
It's not 3.
It's 7.
Not 7.
Is it? Oh, can you tell me the number? Can you tell me the number now?
Ben, you guessing?
I'm trying to think. Can you tell me the
Ben, you
number?
guess?
Nope.
Ben?
Me? 4.
Not 4.
She's going to win, fellas.
Benny?
Is it 7?
It's not 7.
She won.
It's 2.
Miss Esther won on 2.
I said 2.
No, you did not. You said 3. Okay.
Whose turn is it to think of a number?
Ben's.
My turn?
Big Ben.
I
Mama.
have a number.
Is it 4?
Yeah.
Who got that?
That's me.
Esther she's got 2?
Yep.
Okay. My turn. I'm thinking of the number from 1 to 10.
Okay.
And I got it.
It's 10.
Not 10.
3.
Not 3.
Ben and
1. Not 1. What?
Daddy, is he going to win? What is his number?
8.
8.
Not 8. It was 6.
Well,
6.
It was what?
6.
Hey, I said that too.
So he got 1?
Praise the
Yes, you
Lord.
got one.
Praise the Lord. I love it. My turn.
Okay, go ahead before we reach the church.
I got it.
Okay.
It's Abigail's
4.
Nope. Daddy, your turn. Is it 1 through 10?
Yes.
Okay, so is it 10? Yes. I knew it!
Is that 1 for him or
Yes.
2.
2? Oh, goody. So what's the final score? Glendora 3,
3.
Esther 2,
On Benny 2.
and Benny 2?
Tie! I got 0.
Oh, to the glory of God.
Mom, how many points I have?
Listen to what it says. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now guess? Can I get a guess? Holy, holy, holy. I would have had the Old Rugged Cross in the top 10. It's on the top 20, but not in the top 10 on this list. Number 73, page 73. It's a hymn of praise. It's a hymn of praise because of God's holiness, because of God's mercy, because of God's power, because of God's love, and because of His eternity. That's what the hymn is all about. Let us sing, Holy, Holy, Holy. You know which one? All-time favorite? How great thou art. We're going to sing the first and last. Only the first and last of How Great Thou Art. Number 86. Another praise really song. I see the stars, I I'd like to remind you about tithe and offerings. And that little church replica at the entrance of the sanctuary, I invite you to deposit your tithe and offerings at the time of your choosing. Always there, always at the entrance, always, you can't miss it. A constant reminder of God's blessing to us and the opportunity.
Since 1937, Glendora and Franklin have spent on office supplies $32,933. Since 1937, Glendora and Franklin have spent on video $31,318. And since 1937, Glendora and Franklin have spent on gifts $30,956,000. And since 1937, Glendora and Franklin have spent $29,389 on clothing. And this is lodging when we had to go out of town on business. Since 1937, $28,110. Airfare for business, to get business for Glendora TV ads, $25,543.
My purpose is to spread love and help people. I don't
Tender bits, I still have 5 of those, honey. Tender rounds with gravy. Okay, 1.
One of those?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yep.
patties. Those are vegan too.
What are they? What'd you call them?
I'm sorry.
What'd you call them? Cedar Lakes what?
It's Cedar Lake free grain pecan patties.
No. Do you have corn dogs? Do you have corn dogs?
No, we don't have any corn dogs.
Okay.
You like corn dogs?
Yeah, very much. And the supermarkets are carrying corn dogs a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we haven't carried them because there hasn't been a lot of interest in those.
Okay.
That's about it. You know.
Okay. That's fine. Now tell me what I ordered. I ordered 1 wham, 1 roast, 4 fried chick, 1 big Frank's, and then what else?
1 stripple,
Triples.
1 twist steak,
One
and 1 tender round gravy.
Okay. Thanks.
Uh,
Okay. The teacher said pi r round, and the little girl says no, pi r square.
Geometry in there.
Yeah. Or maybe it's the other way around. The teacher said pi r square, and the little girl says no, pi r round.
That's how it is.
Yeah. I think I got that backwards.
The teacher, the math teacher, talking about pi r squared. And students said, no, pi's are round.
What you gonna do today?
Yeah, I gotta run around and do some errands.
Where? Where are you going?
I gotta go do some shopping.
What, grocery shopping or honest weight?
No, nothing on its way. At BJ's.
BJ's, What are you gonna buy?
Oh, I gotta get some stuff for Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Personal stuff.
She going with you?
No, I usually go by myself. She gives me the order and I go get it.
Oh, okay, all right.
So when would you like this stuff?
When it's convenient for you.
When it's convenient?
Yep.
Okay, good. Next time I'm off Sunday, you're at church so all day.
No, I could be home by, just a minute. I could be home by 2.
2 p.m. Sunday?
Yep, I can be home by 2 p.m. if you want to make an appointment.
Why don't we do that?
Okay.
Wait a minute. Since I'm at my computer, I gotta check the weather.
Oh.
This one. I got too much going on today to make it today at this hour.
I wouldn't expect you to make it today. That's not convenient. Take your time.
Alright, today, let's see. Alright. Changes format. The weather today, tomorrow, okay, Sunday, 30% chance of snow. 50% chance tomorrow, so it looks like we're gonna get some snow tomorrow. Actually, if you want to talk, I'll try and call you Sunday, and if the weather's bad, I'll give you a call.
Okay.
We'll make another race, because the next day I have off
Yeah.
is Friday.
Next day.
Things are looking okay.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right.
I work 12-hour days.
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this coming week.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 4 of them in a row. Yeah. All righty. Well, let's hope for good weather Sunday.
Yep. Okay. I'll be
Okay.
in touch.
All right. Give my
Have a good day.
give my love to Charlotte and Beth.
Will do.
All right. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye now.
I think we're done. Okay, let's go if there's any more calls here. Done. Friday calls. Expenses into the book, lifetime, in 6 to 10. Matthew, polka dot, calendars, words, God, meditate him in prayer, blessings. Shovel 18, salt. Done fundamental 14. Record, done telephoning. So what is it? It's 37,505, 510. 37,510. Good. Now details, shovel, okay. Open door 1980. Start it, run it. Okay, I'm going to go shovel. Sue Haynes, Ghent Post Office, Roseanne, I did it. Tracy, I did it. Maida, I did it. Pat Nichols. She's coming today, so just let that be. Shovel, path to the 1995, 93, I did it. Start to 1993, shovel. Path around it. Okay. I'll go shovel. That'll help. Take this. No, no more calls. So you can go away. Put away the telephoning. Shovel. I'm doing details now. Shovel. What's your pure thought? That a mystic. Mysticism is the sense of being one with all that is. So you need 10A, count blessings, and 11A, count blessings. Okay. Mysticism is the sense of being one with all that is. Mysticism is the sense of being one with all that is. It's all gone into the box. The trees are bare.
On his life.
I don't remember if it was, I think it was on his life.
We did a song, Let There Be Peace and Let It Begin With Me.
They're big and they take
This is
quite
prayer
a while,
group, St. Mary's,
but they are excellent.
January 13, Monday, 2014. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. Romans 12:12. We'll get out and help animals and people. Be busy helping others. And now we move to God, meditate Him in prayer. Daily devotion. Daily communion with God. Well, good to see you, Doug. I'm sorry I don't know the answer, but I would give it a try. Yeah. You have my number. You can call me, Doug. You can call me and I might know. Here, I'll give you my number.
Oh, yeah, all right, because I was going to call Diane from the church next week and just see if they were Yeah, all right. Thanks.
My number.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, thanks. I'll hang on to this. I put this in my wallet, so I have it. Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, we'll see you.
I'm glad to see you, Doug.
It's funny.
His last name is Van Auken. Yeah, what's that say?
Well, it talks about the hot meal and a cold.
Yeah, who's that? Dorothy who?
Dorothy Stenger and Margaret Keel.
Yeah. She's the one who passed on, isn't she? She was 90 years old.
We're also recognizing that our supervisor of these meals is celebrating a birthday.
Oh!
So we do have a card for Alan, and we want to sing happy birthday. Please join me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alan. Happy birthday to you. And many more, of course. Many more.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
Our meal for this evening is being prepared by the First Presbyterian Church of the Lake. And we're grateful to them for their participation. And Pastor Kathy Jones will lead us in prayer.
Okay.
It's good to have you all here tonight. I hope you enjoy the meal. It's chicken parmesan, angel hair pasta with sauce, and green beans, just so you know what you're going to get here. Bread and salad and whatever else we have. Let us join together in prayer. God, we give you thanks for this evening and this opportunity to be together. We thank you for the possibilities of friendship and fellowship, of possibilities of eating together, being nourished. We thank you for those who, in the fields, spent time taking care of the growing and the nurturing of the food that we have, and those who processed it and those who have cooked it and serve it. We pray that you would bless us each as we eat it, that we may be nourished by it, and that our souls may be filled also with your love. So be with us here this evening, that we may together have fellowship with you. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
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 Kurt, it was so cold last week. I couldn't get the doors in my car.
That's right. Presbyterian Church.
I believe you.
At Lutheran. January 15th. It's around 5:30 a.m. And no snow coming down, no snow on the ground. You notice how very carefully God keeps the earth watered? Now, if you have a plant, a potted plant, it's not going to live unless you water it. Well, the earth's not going to live unless you water it. And God very carefully waters the earth about every 3 or 4 days. And depending on the temperature, it's either snow or rain or ice. 2014. We're looking into the wetlands. You can't get it. Okay. You're recording? Yeah. Okay, let's get this. When? Hello, honey, you just called me?
Yes, I'm gonna be a little late because I gotta go into the bathroom.
Oh.
Okay, so if you would meet me on the stoop.
On the stoop or on the sidewalk? Down below?
Wherever.
Down below, down in my driveway, or up on the sidewalk?
No, up on the sidewalk.
Okay, at what time?
I should be there about 10 of.
Okay, sweetie.
5 of, okay?
Got it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye. Your password. Then press pound. Please enter your password.
We're basically here today to listen to concerns about what services are needed in the community, what supports people are looking for, what possible obstacles are in our path, and hopefully start to develop solutions. Okay, so I'm actually just going to open it right up, and I'd like to see this meeting be kind of like a mutual collaborative effort in terms of we're kind of facilitating the meeting, but we're all kind of here to support one another. So I invite people to speak freely and to speak free.
Would it be helpful if I gave an overview of what the County Mental Health Department does and how we do that? Okay.
Thank you.
Start with that. If you have questions, please feel free to ask. I can read our mission statement. We're a county department based out of Troy, really under the guidance of County Executive Kathleen Jimeno, who's been a great leader. And I will say she does have a focus on rural areas, so you will not be forgotten. But we are one of many county departments, social services, probation, mental health, youth, aging. We're all part of the county system. We're from the County Mental Health Department, and we've been around for 40 plus years. I think we're celebrating our 40th anniversary this year, and we're kind of unique. We have a charge with providing or offering services throughout the county. The county's about 155,000 people. We provide services to youth, to adults, it's a wide range of folks. We have three kind of roles. We are a direct provider of services, mental health services. So we have some satellite mental health clinics on an outpatient level, kind of like you go to a doctor, you go home, you go to your therapist, you come home. So we offer that service for kids, mainly in Troy, youth from 5 to up to 21 now. We also have satellite clinics for adults in our Rensselaer area and our Hoosick Falls area to serve those geographical parts of the county. We also see some kids in those areas as well. So we are a direct provider of clinics.
And instead of saying gay, women's group, men's group, it actually would say mental health, or certain actually, you know, like I said, whatever the group conscience is for a group, people actually might be more willing to actually try a group out. I mean, that's the first hurdle anyways, it was for me, to pick up the phone or actually go to a meeting, but that's been my experience. Yes.
Did you hear about the man who wanted to join Paranoids Anonymous, but they wouldn't tell him where they held the meetings?
I'm wondering if anyone has any thoughts on that, because it's something that would take, you know, a group of people and people collaborating to actually develop that. That's something that I would like to see. Again, I think that there's needs for different kinds of groups. There's so many different kinds of fellowships that deal with substance abuse today. The last I looked in Syracuse, I went in to speak at a rehab. It was encompassed and then some within that. I mean, in food, in my personal imperfect opinion, more worse of a drug than anything else. And so if you actually have a place where people can come and voice their concerns and be linked to services and supports, maybe it's a place that's open 1 day a week, maybe it's 5 hours a day. I think that could jumpstart people on a path to recovery and hope. So,
is there any reasonability of thinking in terms of a neighboring geographic area, like maybe hooking up with Skodak, for example, or Western Lake is a little far away, I think. But I mean, I don't know the answer to my question. I wouldn't ask it, but is an area, geographic area, to encompass like the town of Skodak, the town of Nassau, too large of an area, or are there some advantages in that approach? I know there are some disadvantages in my mind already, I see, but perhaps they can be overcome.
I heard one of the speakers say that there was a satellite office in Skodak. I'm not sure where that is. I've never actually heard of it until today.
Okay, that's what we were talking about in terms of partnering with primary care offices.
Okay, so are you in the community care facility?
We're in the community care building, and right now we're trying to negotiate space there. We're there at least 1 day a week, but there's different providers there every day. There's a psychiatrist there 1 day, there's social workers there other days, there's nurse practitioners.
Those are wonderful things.
Oh, okay.
Those are things that places.
How does that work in terms of involving the community?
Well, at this point, we haven't involved like a community open forum like this, but we are looking to assess what the needs are. And so, you know, we're very much interested in expanding.
Those are.
And this is very new.
Right.
It's a very
exactly.
new.
But that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Those things are very important for people like me to know, who runs the local food pantry, and people like Diane over there who runs another food pantry, who sees the people who have the needs of these services, so that we can say, you know, if you are looking for this, maybe we can help you by pointing you to this direction. Skodak, still we have so many people out here even that can't get to the food pantries. They have to ride, or they have to walk. I have several people that use carts, little shopping carts, and truck them around because in order to get the groceries, they have no other transportation. So, but those are nice. Those are great things for us to learn.
Yeah. I have a question about, do you hear from folks in your community that are connected to like our social services, like food stamps? What does that look like, those basic needs? How do people feel like they're connected to
basic needs? Okay. Well, there are... There are successes. I mean, there definitely are successes. Older people, you know, that we've been able to channel towards food stamps, you know, have been able to do a little better. Some people are so borderline, they own their home. So when they own their home, obviously they have mortgage, they have taxes, they have whatever. So when they're done paying those, these people are mid-60s.
They will make a trip there. I'm only speaking for the couch surfers.
I did speak to a librarian, just to follow up from our last meeting, I did speak to a librarian, and the thing with like libraries being a clearinghouse, I mean, there's boundary issues with librarians, that they have really a difficult time sort of getting involved with, with people's lives and telling them where to go. They can kind of point them if they want to go online, like here's the website that maybe you need to go to, but they can't be a clinician in terms of like, hey, or anyone that would be telling them like, hey, this is what you need to do for your particular issue. But they can sort of be more of like, hey, these are the websites that are available to you, and that's why I think having a greater web presence would be much more helpful.
Do you know of where this could be made available, like through the Times Union, the Sand Lake Advertiser, that where they would donate their services versus charge for it?
Who's that?
Like, say a satellite is developed, and to make the public aware, if we could go to like the Times Union or the Sand Lake Advertiser, and there's another one out, I think it's a Sand Clipper or something, to where they would donate space.
Oh, okay.
To get the word out.
To get the word out.
The Eastwick Press, for example, I think we talked about that, there's a lot of people in the community read that.
Wait a second.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Wait a second. We have a website called Nassau 12123. And just this issue, the Village Green, we listed all of the places that a newcomer to Nassau Village or Nassau could go. And the town, the village clerk also listed it on their website. Pat, can you be more specific than I am?
That's all I know about it, but it has been developed so that people know what community organizations and what health organizations are available. We're just gonna look at it.
Is it linked to other sites, like,
It should be, I
Yeah.
don't know about that.
Like Rensselaer County.
No,
I was thinking that it must be part of Rensselaer County, but I would think any public service message can be put into any newspaper for free. It's a public service message.
Just like on a cable station.
Exactly, and then public service.
Or like in your telephone book.
What about developing a map for each town? A map of supports and services that have community supports, grassroots supports, county supports, and having maybe donations or a company print them up and have them displayed on bulletin boards, and actually have a map on different sites that show each town linked to the whole county. It's just a thought that I was thinking about in terms of asset-based community development.
I have a
Great
question.
idea.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No.
I'd like to hear maybe from some local folks, where do people go now? I mean, is there whether it's a single location, what do you do exactly at the resource center? Sounds like you do everything.
The resource center is a food pantry, clothing exchange, meaning everything we have is free. Clothing, household items, linens.
Now, years ago, right now I got a medical.
The opportunity of people to get there, sometimes the hours is important too.
So, but if we're talking about something that's almost like a one-stop resource center, meaning varied hours, so there's some evening, there's some weekend, there's some days.
Right.
Well, there could also be a connection like to your American Legion, those type of organizations that are already set up that you could contact and see if a large group could somehow be subdivided to
to be given this information to?
Okay, folks, I have the biggest question of all, and that is who, how, and when can we teach them to go to God, who has the answers to all of their problems?
Good question.
I don't have that answer.
It's a quarter after 11. I'm wondering if there's anything else we want to discuss. I mean, you summed it up a few minutes ago in terms of what we can look towards in terms of how we can link not only the community organizations, mental health organizations, or community civic organizations like American Legion or community centers, how we can link people together in terms of supports and services, whether they're professional or grassroots. And maybe we can look into having another meeting, as someone suggested, well, in the afternoon when more people can make it after work, maybe 4:30, so people can attend, and maybe we can continue with the process. I mean, what other thoughts are there in terms of that?
I think that's an excellent idea.
What are the hours of the resource centers and the food pantries? And what are the times that?
Monday, Tuesday, Friday, 9 to 12, and Thursday evenings from 7 to 8:30. That's the Nassau Resource Center.
And to start somewheres, maybe we could contact in other villages, food pantries to start with, that we're going to be establishing meetings like this, to get a larger format.
Or maybe it could be a few people showing up at a regular town meeting.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Possibly.
That's like a weekly event, like I know when the town meetings are, it's like, pass by Petersburg Town Hall, and there's like everybody you could ever imagine there, so I think people want to be involved. I think there's always kind of come back to the stigma of how to get people on board.
Maybe.
Services, I'm sure, I don't know, they're so prevalent, there's so much money, there's people that are, obviously willing to help. I know that you had mentioned the idea of a mobile clinic before, so me as a little caseworker in Petersburg, I am kind of the mobile clinic. I have my car and my iPod and my cell phone, and I just go and provide services to all these families out there, so I think that's another idea that, great to look into.
Maybe we can even look at a committee for maybe developing some subcommittees in terms of areas to start to look at doing that. Maybe
Yeah.
focusing on the southern part first. And I know we're going to be having other town hall meetings in Rensselaer and Troy and also Hoosick Falls this year, so maybe that's something we could discuss.
And with Unity House, I mean, if we know there's a need somewhere, they don't necessarily have to come to us. We can go to them in a lot of ways and, refer out to other places if need be, but there's, we serve many people, many different issues, but we are allowed to, travel throughout the county and serve people in their homes, and if it means, you do an intake at somebody's home, see what the need is, and then see what you can do from there. They don't always have to come.
That is one of the needs out in the rural part of the county. You do home-based nursing, correct?
No, we do.
Like domestic violence.
Better at doing that. So we will take the information back. The Rural Task Force has regular meetings, so this, idea of looking at rural Rensselaer County is here to stay. So we welcome your participation in any future meetings. We have emails, and will that be incorporated into, well, at least get notifications out about future meetings and where they'll be located. And we're really making a dedicated effort to having the meetings in communities, in places where it's less of a barrier for people to attend.
What I'll probably do is summarize the notes, and I'll probably talk to yourself a little bit, see what notes you took too. And I'll send out meeting minutes or something along with everyone's, if everyone's comfortable with their email address, if that's okay with everyone. And we'll talk about what we can have, possibly another meeting in the afternoon here.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this.
Good girl. And I think God is pleased with all of you for coming out and trying to help so hard.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, how would we be,
Have this letter, this is probably the newest one. Oh, they should.
Hey, Di? I think somebody else might
Thank you for having us.
Hey!
We good, Glendora. Thank you. I have to see this gentleman.
Okay.
See you later.
I'll see you at 1. Isn't today the day we're going to Walmart? Okay, I'm good. How are you? I'm gonna go do some things and then I'll pick you up around 1 o'clock.
Around 1 at my house.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Hi, Judy. Morning, and listen, thanks for, you were the first one to get out your church financial statement. What do you mean? You know the thing you gave me? Yeah. This thing. You were the first one to get them out of all the churches. Oh, I see. You beat them all. It's not a contest. It's just... Hi. Hello, how are you? Good, how are you? Great. All right, have a great one. Snowstorm number 13. 1 inch. 4:30 in the afternoon. Still daylight. January 16th. January is half over. January is half over. February is a short month. And in March the sun hangs high. (1993) Lincoln, 1993 Lincoln. You have cataracts. Runs beautifully. The battery was taken out by Clayton and we charged it overnight with a Black & Decker little charger. This is storm number 13. Last week is when we did all the work. And you see that red barn over there? The 1980 Lincoln is in the barn. And it doesn't have to be cleared of snow. Storm number 13. January is half over. February is a short month. And in March the sun rides high. There's the barn where the 1980 Lincoln is stored for the winter. $20 a month. He runs sweetly. He runs smoothly, sweetly. Now let's put him back into the garage for a week. 1980 Lincoln Continental Mark 6. 300,000 miles. 1980, we paid cash for it, $18,000. The year of the 19% interest. Boy, I need a lot of practice backing that in. Woo. Okay, I think that's it. Until next Thursday, January 23rd. Mysticism is the sense of being one with all that is. You notice that all that is capitalized, because why? Yeah. I called 10 people to ask them if they wanted to go to a free movie at the library with free popcorn. Despicable Me. No. 10 no's. It doesn't work. I know he said everything was good, but I don't know what he said as of after you sent them. Oh, good, thanks.
Alright, now I'm checking your email address.
What about, oh, thanks. What about San Francisco?
Oh, no, yeah, I sent to San Francisco and to Quincy at the same time.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Geez, that's pretty clever.
let's see.
But all your other stations gave you an A.
What?
Manhattan and Springfield and Norwich. Oh, I don't know about Norwich. I didn't hear from them, but Carmel and Bronx.
Yeah. You have a new subscriber on YouTube.
Is his name Kevin?
Mr. KTVM.
Yeah. What did is he a new subscriber? I heard from him by telephone yesterday, and he goes back years and years and years. And he apologized for being mean to me about 5 years ago.
Oh, really? On the phone or something?
Yes. And he said that he had found Jesus.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and that he said he knew that I knew Jesus. And so then he said, I left an email for you on Facebook. Can he do that?
He might have left a message. I will check what I can find.
How can you leave a message for somebody on Facebook? Doesn't he mean YouTube?
It's like, I'll just see if I can find something. I know where to look, but, I mean, it doesn't mean I'll find it, though.
Okay.
I haven't found anything by him, but I did find something from Melanie Roberts, though.
Well, really, that's somebody I don't know.
I remember when you came to our school, Glen Orders, Scotia, late in the 50s. I wrote about it in a letter to my grandmother that she kept and we just found. I tried to figure out who/what SS Glendora was, and I finally solved the mystery. Thanks for being you, Glendora.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
Yeah.
Does she give a current address or location?
No, her name is just, all I know is what her name is.
Melanie
Roberts.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
Yeah.
And where was that? On YouTube?
That was on Facebook.
Oh. Well, this young man who called me got fired by Cablevision. His name was Kevin.
Yeah. Oh goodness, I just got an email for an offer for a human resources job.
No, really?
Yeah, I don't want to take it.
Where?
From LinkedIn. It's like we had for our co-op class we had to make an account on LinkedIn, which is basically like Facebook for your resume, and I guess someone found my account and
They offered you a job?
I think they want me to apply.
Do they tell you what's the location?
Here, I'll read you the email. My name is Henry. I work here at PTC, which I have no idea what that is. We currently have a position available for a Human Resources Project Associate here at PTC in Needham. We are a publicly traded $1.3 billion software giant with a 60-plus person HR department. That sounds like really boring to me.
Are you going to answer it?